I don't know.
Just go straight in.
Just go straight in. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay, we're straight in. We've been straight in. People are probably saying, hey, what's up? What's up? Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I said hi to a few people in the chat. Hello, hello. If I missed you, hello again.
Okay, totally freaking understand now.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
What's
thank
up?
you. We're live, though. Thank you. She
We are
totally
live.
understands now. She watched the video.
Yeah. I just watched a video on YouTube right before. It's kind of funny. I was getting Mike and everybody in the house. Maybe I'll tell you guys about it. I don't know. Anyway, tonight's topic, gold ounces, CAC graded coins. Are they worth the price? Are they worth it? I don't know. First off, let's talk about gold a little bit. Oh, hello to everybody. Wolf Tracks, Rockzilla, Ashes, JJ Ringmaster Ray, Against an Army, Big Rocky. We're sliding up a little bit. Okay, guys, the way we're going to do this is basically a chat. Please put 3 questions in front of your statement or question you want to be addressed, and we will try to highlight it. When we fall behind, we tend to catch up to just question marks. I'm not super good at reading the chat. I fall behind a lot. So that'll help me out, and it'll help get your question noticed. So tonight's topic, Mike, we're going to be talking about the price of gold, gold ounces. And we're going to be talking about CAC graded coins. So first off, let's talk. And guys, this may touch a little bit political. If you don't like it, as Floyd says, change the channel. You don't have to say anything in the chat. Just change the channel. But to start off, let's talk about the price of gold ounces. Trump opened his mouth. Yeah, he's the president, if you don't know, of the United States. Opened his mouth today and said he's not going to fire Jerome Powell. And gold dumped $50 aftermarket today. Gold is sitting at it's not, what was the record high this morning?
$34.99.
$3,499 at the open of market this morning. Right now it's sitting at $3,334, $35, roughly $165 below. Now, it never closed at $34.99, but it touched it. And for those of you that watch the market a lot, like myself and Mike, you'll notice that. And again, this is right here. That's Mike, Mid-American Coin. That's my brother. You want to say something about real quick before we get into everything?
Yeah, guys. Thank you for coming in chat. And guys, if there's any of you guys new out there, put a couple question marks up. Let us see that you guys are new, because I know there's a couple of new guys came in my shop today, said they want to check it out. So guys, if you're out there, put 3 question marks up. Don't have to ask any questions. Then we know you're a new.
Yeah, and then we'll say, oh, you're new. So we're talking about the price of gold ounces specifically. We're not really talking about the price of gold. I mostly want to talk about gold ounces. Now, in your opinion, Mike, if you're an average working Joe making, I don't know, what do average people make? 40,000, 50,000 a year? I have no idea what the average salary is now. But if you make the average salary, are ounces of gold worth it, or would you recommend buying fractional at the higher premiums?
Honestly,
Yeah.
guys, whatever you guys can afford is what I tell people. I actually have some people that come in my store on 2 to 3 times a week, and they buy fractionals because that's what they can afford.
So, yeah, definitely buy what you got. I mean, but I don't know. In Michigan, you probably couldn't get a used car for the $3,400, $3,300, whatever. I know there's a lot of states where you can get a decent used car for $3,000, $4,000.
Not here, you can't. I want to know where them states. I want to know where them states are. You can buy a decent car for $3,000 a day.
What's that? You can't?
For $3,000. I want to know what state has that, because I need to go over there and buy my grandchild one, and I need to save some money.
Ted says we are here. Well, yeah, anyway, you can buy a good piece of a car. How's that? You can get new cars for as low as $25,000, $30,000. I mean, they're not the
Once
best.
again, where are you shopping at again? Because now that that tax went on there, it's hard to even find that.
Okay. Back up a little bit. Before the tariffs, you could get a new car for $25,000, $30,000. So yeah, 3,500 is a lot of money, and especially when someone like the president opens his mouth, or Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, any of these guys that have spent decades putting themselves in the position that when they open their mouth, it moves markets, whether it's gold, stocks, any kind of commodity. Just by saying something like he said, we're not firing Jerome Powell, or I am not firing Jerome Powell. Gold dipped 50. The stock market went up 500 points on the Dow after close today. Is that not about pretty close to right?
Yeah.
So he opened his mouth. I mean, these guys, most people haven't even heard of Elon Musk 10 years ago. He was known, but he wasn't in the mainstream 10 years ago, was he?
I knew about him.
Well, some people did, but a lot of people didn't. Tesla just started picking up and taking off 10 years ago. But it's just amazing that someone can open their mouth. It's remember back in 2012, who was that? Was it George Soros said he's moving off of 5,000 contracts of gold? Do you remember that?
I
And
do.
gold dropped $250 in one day. That's when it was up near around 2,000, and then it fell back down. So yeah, that's something. Look at that little foot. I love me some Keith and Mike chats. $2. Thank you, my friend. Okay, Sonny says he's not firing him. He's not staying either. My point is on that topic that he opens his mouth. He's I guess you could say he moved the market.
You know, guys, you got to remember, there's going to be people that don't want to work underneath him, and he's going to go. Look at the director of the U.S. Mint. She could have stayed until 2027. She's tried to get out of there early.
And who was this?
Ventress.
Ventress with the U.S. Mint, yeah.
Yes.
No, I did not see this comment that he posted. He said, "Did you see him post the golden rule of businesses is to own gold?" I think all businesses should own some type of gold. What do you think about that topic?
I agree. My business owns gold.
I mean, even if you're not in the business of selling silver and gold, wouldn't it make sense?
Well, I mean, we're like I said, we own gold and we own a couple of different businesses. So I could technically say all my businesses own gold.
Danny Johnson said, I thought gold was over 3,500 at one time. It could have touched over there at one point that I didn't see early day, but it's nowhere near that now.
In the world market, it did touch us a tad over. It opened up at 34.99, and then it just all day long just kept moving down, kept moving down, kept moving down. It got to where I didn't know how I wanted to buy gold.
What pre-33 gold coins are bringing better premiums, Mike?
Oh, well, your Indians are always bringing a little premium. There is better date libs out there that brings a premium. But guys, anything 62 and lower that are common, most of them are right there close to melt, guys, are right there at melt.
Yeah, pretty close, yeah.
But that ain't going to stay, I'm going to tell you, because the market is changing.
I personally like the $10 Indians. I don't like the infused Indians so much, the 2.5 and 5s, but I do like the 10, where the devices of the coin pop out instead of impressed into the coin.
We can sell you one.
So yeah, I bet you could sell me one, bro. That's so nice. So for those of you that don't know, I own a coin shop. Mike's owns a coin shop. Mine's in Michigan. Yours is in
Oklahoma.
Right
where right real close, 75 miles from the Tulsa Coin Show.
Isn't that something? So here's Lisa Anderson. Hello, Lisa. How are you?
We got Dan up here tonight, Keith. Do you see Dan?
Danny Johnson. He's in here.
Okay.
Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, if Dan's in there, Dan, give me a call tomorrow at the shop on your application.
Are you talking about Dan Ing? You're talking about Dan Ing.
Out of Kansas City.
Dan Ing. I seen him earlier. Yeah, there he is right there.
Okay, I need him to call me tomorrow if he could.
There you go, Dan.
Thank you,
Pick
Dan.
up the
I appreciate it.
phone, man.
Well, I want to get him
anyway,
positioned in his right spot. I want him to be happy.
David Rubin says, thank you for what you do. Well, thank you for being here, my
We
friend.
appreciate that. We appreciate everybody appreciates us for sure. And even those that don't, I still appreciate them.
Look at Kitco's. What do you guys look at? Well, I just look at the New York spot price, the world spot prices, and just go from there.
Well, and so I spend a lot of time looking at the charts, reading the charts, and just seeing how the graphs are really working and sometimes I'll compare them to 4 and 5 years back. It gives me an idea of what the market's really kind of do. No, I do not have a crystal ball, but I do get an idea that way.
I normally don't say anything about this, but this, in my opinion, it's downright ignorant. Vermilion Enterprises melted an MS-64 St. Gaudens Monday. That's ignorant.
What?
I mean, even though it's only worth the gold, that's still taken away from the collectability of numismatics being that high of a grade. I can understand it if like it was an XF or a lower grade.
If he melted for melt, he only got 99% of melt. He could have called me and I'd pay him a little bit better.
Yeah, it just didn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
I'm going to tell you, that's what they did. That's what they did when I was down at Duncan. That's where I got them 64s from. They were right at melt. They sold them to me for melt, and they sold them to me real quick.
It just doesn't make sense numismatically or financially to do something like that. So, yeah, we're going to take that comment right down.
There's companies out there give you 100% of melt or better.
Oh, yeah. It just doesn't make sense. Unless they're just trying to make like a cringe video. I mean, I could understand that. Danny says, I saw it on MSNBC. You saw what, Danny? Gold so high, people are starting to melt coins.
I mean, I would believe that.
Now, we did say something last week. Should CAC coins sell for more money? And I did change the title slightly before we started.
How did we come out on that? I left that there. How did we come out on that? What does people think?
Well, that's what we're going to be talking about right now. Right after I highlight, I missed somebody's question here. So Ashes, I just scrolled over you. Sorry about that. I can't find you now. Oh, okay. Here we go. So a person has 1,000. What should they invest in for the best value? Gold, silver. Your opinion?
I would have to say if you only had 1,000, I would put my money in silver. Wouldn't even think about it.
Tommy says Vermilion also claims silver demand is dead. What say you? It's not dead, and I'm froze.
Well, evidently he must be in a bad spot because
he's
I'm
on YouTube.
Tell you right now, it ain't even close to being dead.
But no, it's nowhere close to being dead. Look at that $5 super chat, J Dog. Thank you, man.
Thank you, man.
Look at that. So let's move on to the CAC coins. Should they sell for more? That was a topic we said we were going to talk about this week. The original title of today's stream was, should CAC coins sell for more? Are they worth it? And then I had to put that gold ounces because Trump opened his mouth today and affected the price of the stock market and the gold. But the real question is, are CAC coins worth more than a non-CAC coins? If they're graded, you're not getting two opinions. You're not getting CAC's opinion in PCDS. So should a CAC graded coin sell for more than a PCDS or NGC? I mean, that's a good question. What say you, Mike?
I don't agree so.
You don't agree they should sell for more, or you agree they should?
Honestly, if I want to be real honest,
I would pay
less. I would pay less for a CAC coin.
And why is that?
I think that the grading standard that they're trying to set is way over what it should really be. If you take a look at NGC and PCGS, in order to get a 65 grade, that coin actually has to be a 66 in that holder.
You're saying they're being too hard on the coins.
They're being way hard on the coins, and I'm not the only one that feels it.
So because they're being too hard, you think they should be worth less. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. Maybe they're saying, oh, our coins are better, but who's losing out on that? I think that would be the person sending it in, wouldn't it?
I would say the person sending it in and the guy that's buying it, guys, they're not even in the auctions. They're not bringing more than the others.
No, they're not.
I mean,
No.
you're gonna hear a lot of guys. I'm hearing a lot of guys are cracking out, including myself.
Littlefoot says, I don't think so because someone else agrees with me on the quality of it. Yeah, CAC is strict according to Crazy Stacker. Thank you, my friend.
I think they're a little too
Big Rocky
strict.
says, not to me. It's not worth more. Oh, here's a good statement here. Is CAC graded slabs worth the extra value? In my opinion, where we at? No. Are CAC green and gold stickers worth the extra? Yes, because it's a second party agreed or thought it was undergraded gold bean. Just my opinion, and that's what I was trying to point out, Ashes, that because you're not getting a second opinion on the CAC graded coin, you're just getting CAC's opinion. I think that yeah, it's probably not worth more.
Guys, and I'm going to tell you something. I don't know if you guys noticed, Gray Sheet has put out a CAC, where it's only CAC coins in the magazine. Guys, look who owns a Gray Sheet.
True.
Look who owns a Gray Sheet. Does anybody really know who owns that Gray Sheet?
Enough out of Andy Salesman's live show. I'll try this out. Well, thank you, Living the Dream. Appreciate you coming over and checking us out. Hopefully we don't upset you or we're entertaining or something.
But anyway, I'm asking a question. Does any of you guys know who owns Gray Sheet?
Does anybody? It's like Verizon. Can you hear me now? Richard Bedcast says he'd rather have the green bean than a CAC holder.
Correct. But once again, we're asking the question, does anybody really know who owns a Gray Sheet?
Who owns the Gray Sheet? Inquiring minds want to know.
I know who owns it. That's why I'm asking you guys.
I prefer a CAC coin. I definitely don't need my coins CAC. CAC coins should not be worth more because you see them sell for more pretty often. Yeah, just because you see them sell for more doesn't make it worth more.
It was the CAC stickers that were selling for more. And technically, I don't care for the little fat holders.
John Feldman, David Lawrence don't own it.
No.
Bearded Bob, here you go. Probably the same as CAC. I think they do have their nose in the Gray Sheet, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, guys. Whitman owns Gray Sheet. And guess who's on Whitman's board? John. Who is John? John owns CAC. Wait a minute. We got these guys all running the Gray Sheet? We got a problem.
Ash has actually said Whitman Court owns it. He looked it up. No, I don't know if he looked it up or not, but he said who.
No, Whitman owns it. But look who's on
since
the board.
the one guy died,
Whitman.
The one guy who used to own it that didn't keep it totally up to date. He owned it 10, 15 years ago. He died on some ski trip or something.
He died. Whitman bought it up. John is involved with Whitman, who owns CAC, who also started PCGS with a couple other groups, who also started NGC with a couple other groups, and now he has CAC.
Crazy Stacker says, my message is not showing up. Can you get CAC stickers from China? Man, they'll counterfeit everything over there, dude.
I bet we can. Let's call China and see if we can get some.
Long distance. 1-800.
You know, they don't mind making a quick buck. They'll sell them to you cheap. You can get probably 1,000 of them for $10.
Matt says it is a vicious circle. Yes, it is.
It is, guys.
A lot of times when it comes to corporations, one guy will own this that's affiliated with this, that's affiliated with this, and it's a big circle. And he grabs his own business. He's one of his best customers, and that's how you make money. And then other people deal with him as well. Ashes says, because of the monopoly, educate yourself and buy the coin, not the holder. And that is something.
That is 100% correct. We've been saying that for a long time.
We've been saying that for like ever.
Yeah.
Buy the coin, not the holder. If you don't like the way the coin looks, if it's got especially if it's got a fingerprint, but because it's in that slab, it ain't coming off. But if it's got a gouge or a nick or a hit that you don't like, don't buy it. I mean, if you don't like it, you're going to be.
Guys, I wish I would have brought my $10 lib today. A guy brought it in a PCGS 61 holder. I paid him AU58 money. Why did I do that? Because when I started looking over the coin and I showed him, and he never knows the coin as long as it's been in his collection, and he said he's owned it 12 years. In the very front of that coin, and this is an older PCGS holder, there was I thought at first it was on the holder, and I started looking at it real good, a big gouge in the face. I mean, gouge.
If you buy,
it would call damaged.
If you buy a coin and you don't like it, I don't recommend buying it. What are you guys paying for junk silver at the shop? I'm not buying junk silver. I'm buying constitutional silver. I don't buy junk. I give it away.
You don't buy 90% junk?
No, I buy constitutional 90%.
It's still junk to me.
No, it's not to me. I don't call it junk. Maybe I'm just, I don't know.
With the way the market is, have to call me on an open day.
Yeah, that'd be the best day. That'd be the best thing.
Anyway. Got another question?
Yeah, Mike. What numismatics are you looking to add to your personal collection next?
I like it all. But, if you got any extra Carson City golds or Carson City silver or some Charlottes, stuff like that, I'm really interested in.
There you go. Thank you, Eminem. Here's something from MudSwat. Thank you, MudSwat. Repairing boxes, envelopes for coins, tape or not? Should you put just a small piece of Scotch tape or a big honking piece? What should you do?
Well, if the box is ripped, put some tape on it. It's okay. Just use clear Scotch tape or something. Don't get crazy. I mean, it happens. The boxes get damaged, and you got to do something.
Crazy Stacker says, buy the coin, not the holder.
Again, we get that one. We all agree with that one.
Well, here's a great question. Thank you, J-Dog. We appreciate it. How did the term junk coins come about? I've been in this business a long time, and
you don't know?
I don't remember calling it junk coins 30 years.
No. Guys used to come in, and they'd reach in the box, and they find some really low grades. And say, oh, this stuff's junk. How much you want for it? And that's how it really got called about. They was trying to lowball you on your silver. They try to find the lowest pieces. They throw them over, and they call it junk. How much you want for this junk?
And a lot of people still today use that term, hoping to get a great price. But you know what? Honestly, if it's not super low grade, it's not junk. Even though it
ain't even junk if it's got a date on it. It's still not junk. It's just that was the term they used to try to buy it cheaper.
There you go. That's how it came about. People being,
I still get guys coming in my box. Hey, how much you want for this junk?
People being chintzy, tightwads, trying to do you. Have you ever had any Dahlonega gold coins?
Once.
I had one once. Or no.
I wish I wouldn't have sold it.
No Dahlonega.
I wish I wouldn't have sold it. But, Mr. Garrett did offer a good price. That's why I let it go. That's all I'm going to say. And Mr. Garrett.
Keith. I know, Jeff.
Yeah, he loves that stuff, and he pays good money for it. So he gets me every time. He bought a really nice $20 gold piece.
What's the face value of 90% right now?
Huh?
The face value of 90%. Someone's asking the question. You take spot, multiply it by 0.715, accounts for a little bit of wear, and that gives you the face value for your thing. Say it's $30 at 715, that's 22.5. So at 32.5 times 0.715. Oops, I did that wrong. 32.5 times 0.715. 23.23. That's what it is at this moment. So yeah, just 0.715 times spot gives you the actual melt value for non-damaged constitutional coins. Yeah, here's a great question. I love this question. Thank you, Against an Army. If 90% constitutional is considered junk silver, are 1933 pre-gold coins considered junk gold?
No.
But they're selling like the Constitution.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you take your 90% 33 gold and throw it in a bowl and let people dig through it like you do Constitution?
That is part of the reason why they call it junk, is because it's just sitting in a bowl.
That's right. I don't know anybody just throws their gold coins in it. Well, I rephrase that. I did Mr. Sanders years ago. He always amazed me. He gets so much old gold, he just throw it in a bowl, and he put a
That's
price on it.
how Steve does too.
Yeah, Steve
just-
Maham. Yeah, he does too.
He
Yeah.
got his stuff. Steve got his gold. He just throws it in a showcase, carries it in a box, just dumps it in there. Coins hitting all over. I'm like, oh. I buy very little coins off of him. I mean, he's a good guy, but you know.
He is a good guy, but yeah,
It
I
just
get it.
cringes me. Wendy says, good evening. Penny Scout says, evening. Junk silver, non-numismatic silver, correct. That is usually the terminology used.
Yeah, non-numismatic silver, yes.
But the thing is, I mean, when you talk about, as they say, junk silver, aka constitutional silver, silver is priced. I mean, you get a Walker, you get a Benjamin, you get a Franklin, or even a Barber half. They're not all, well, actually, not all coin dealers are going to charge the exact same price for junk. And people are like, oh, it's just junk. I should get it for the same price. Well, you know, each one of those are a little bit harder to get than the other when it comes to the $50. So when you start separating out the type of silver, whether it be Mercury dimes, Roosevelt dimes, Walker halves, or Barber halves versus Kennedy half 90%, which was only 1 year, you're going to get a different price because of scarcity. Because even though it doesn't have a numismatic value, it has that rarity value because there's fewer of them. Living a Dream says, Coin Shop Christine says there's a huge shortage of junk dimes. Is that true?
Well, I guess in her area there might be. There is not for us.
I've been a little bit shorter on dimes, but I wouldn't call it huge.
I got dimes.
I wouldn't call it huge.
And if I need more, I know where 5 more bags are sitting.
There you go. So we talked about CAC coins graded. We talked about ounces of gold. I don't know. Maybe it's me, bro. But I love fractional gold. I know there's a big premium on it. And with the gold being so volatile like it is over the past session or two, I mean, because yesterday it just kept going up. It was up 100. And today it's down 150 at or about. It's 33.52 on the ask on Kitco. I just like fractional because even though it moves the same amount, you know, a 10th ounce will move it. 10 tenth ounces will move the same value as 1 ounce. But a lot of times it's a little bit softer of a blow, isn't it?
On what? I'm sorry.
The 10th ounces, even though they move the same value for 10 of them as 1 ounce of gold, the blow's a little softer. You got 1/10 of the move versus, and that's another reason why I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, the 10th ounces for me are even easier to
And
move.
this is exactly what I was talking about. Mugs like this. Barber coins aren't junk because they have a premium currency. One would say low-graded barbers as junk too. I put average circulated barbers in a bowl, just like I put Walkers, Franklins, Kennedys. But there's a different price for every bowl. And junk silver to me is just one price for all, no matter what it is.
Low grade barbers, I'll sell you the same price as Mercury's and Rosie's.
There you go.
When they're real low grade, where I'm having trouble making out the dates, they're just junk.
That's what it says. I can only afford fractional gold when I have extra cash to buy. I hate premiums because it's hard to recover. Actually, it's not that hard.
It's not if you're selling it to the right people.
If someone is charging you a premium, they should be willing to pay the premium back to some extent. Now, I am paying more now for gold 10th ounces than I was selling them for 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, something like that. But a month ago, for sure.
I am too.
I mean, that's just the way it is.
But I'm buying them back more than I was selling them for.
If someone's charging you that 10+% for a 10th ounce, and they're not giving you over spot for it back, they're charging you too much. So maybe you may want to look elsewhere to try to buy.
Yeah, find you a new LCS. If
you're going to buy an ounce of gold worth paying, is it worth paying higher premiums to buy American Eagle or Buffalo, says MM. Are the Eagles and Buffaloes worth more premium?
Well, they only made the Buffalo in 2008. And yes, them are definitely higher than all the rest. Eagles, yeah, they're a little higher than Maple Leafs and everything else. So, if you're just looking for lower premium, buy Cougaran, buy Maple Leaf.
We just touched on this, Penny Scout, but I will highlight it. You got some question marks there. With fractional gold, example, 1/10 ounce, do you get some of the higher premium back when you sell to a coin shop? You should.
You should, yes.
You should get it back. If you're not getting the extra premium back, if they're not paying you more for a 1/10 ounce versus a 1 ounce gold, but they're charging you a bigger premium on it, I don't recommend dealing with that coin shop. And I'm not going to name any coin shop in particular, but there are shops out there like that will charge you a higher premium for the smaller ones because they got to pay a higher premium. But when it comes to buying it back from the public, they will not pay extra over what they'll buy a 1 ounce for per ounce price. And yeah, I recommend, and he says, don't answer, just did. Yeah, we do that a lot. Here you go. Here's a great example. Matt Wing says, got a 1/10 ounce a month ago, $320, just bought at $370. Dude, well, maybe yesterday I was paying $370 to get it. So yeah, the prices are crazy. They're moving up, they're moving down. And like I said, some of these bigger business people or political people, they're in a position that they've built up over the decades when they open their mouth, they move markets. And that is what's happening. You got all this tariff crap. You got all these different guys sitting there giving their opinion about different things, whether it be the business you're dealing with or taxing you some way. They're going to affect markets, and it's going to be like that I think we're in a new world right now for the next couple months or so.
Well, we broke another record, so why not?
It's not surprising that gold can move up or down $100 in one day. That, to me, at the price level, what is that like?
Well, it actually took about 150, 160 move today.
Well, if it was $3,000, it's 5% at 150. So yeah, stocks move like that all the time. So it's not surprising.
It's surprising to me.
No, it's not surprising to me that it can move it. I'm not saying that it is. It's not surprising that it's capable. Buffaloes are very desirable. Yes, they are, my friend. Yes, they are. J-Dog says, I'll buy gold when I hit the lottery. I don't play the lottery. Do you play the lottery? Do you ever buy a ticket?
No, I can't afford it.
I know. I'd rather get something for nothing than nothing for something.
Every time I've ever tried to play the lottery, all I was doing is scratching it off and throwing it in the trash can.
C Bob says, I'll answer first this question. C Bob, thank you. Did you get a lot of people selling you gold today at your shop? Nope, nobody sold me nothing. They didn't buy that neither. I wasn't open. You go ahead.
Yes, they did.
A lot of people selling.
Anybody need to buy a row of gold eagles? I bought a whole row of gold eagles today. Then I bought some fractionals.
I don't think in today's world that's possible. You can buy a gram of gold for 80 to 120 instead of 2.1 grams for 400. No, gold melts about 107, 108 right now. So yeah, that's not possible.
Yeah,
as low as 80.
I could see maybe if you find it for 120.
Yeah, maybe the 120, but not the 80.
No, 80. I'll pay more than that to buy it.
I'll pay melt to buy them. If they're carded, you're getting melt plus.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I would pay more. I would buy them for more than that.
Juan Justo says 40 is the, or 100 is the new 40. I think it should say 40 is the new.
No, 100 is the new 40. Yes, I get it.
Whatever. It's crazy. It is.
He's totally a little slow. He'll catch up with us in a minute.
Yeah, I'm out of it.
But I'm gonna tell you, I bought a couple grams of gold today, and I paid 110. Is what I paid for them.
It's not surprising. It's not surprising at all. You're always.
But at $80, please tell me where I can get them at, because I need to get as many as I can get at that number.
Actually, I mean, seriously, I got grams for $40. Grams of gold for $40.
I'll buy them.
No, I bought them for $40.
Oh, I thought you was offered them for that.
Yeah, I bought grams of gold for $40 10 years ago.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're offering to sell them, even for 50, I'll buy them.
But that's the thing. It's all relative as to when you're buying it as to the price. I mean, 10 years ago, $40 grams, that's about average, wasn't it?
Yeah, I guess it could have been.
Could have been, yeah. Could have been. Could have been, should have been. As a matter of fact, I remember buying them $75 just a year or so ago.
No, I got gold still sitting in there. You guys thought I was crazy when I bought them. I think it was, what year was that? 2008, 2009. I bought all them Cougarins. You thought I was crazy?
Yeah, we all crazy.
I went for it. They wasn't thinking I was so crazy a couple weeks later.
So when do we hit 100 for silver? I mean, there's got to be more crazy stuff going on than there is now.
Guys, we did.
2030?
We did hit 100 for silver.
When?
Actually, 107 to 1 today.
There you go. There's that 100 silver. 107 to 1. China sells them cheap. There you go. Texas, I thought there was no tax on bullion until I read Amex charges tax on palladium and platinum. What's the deal? A lot of times the states have passed laws where they don't charge tax on silver and gold, but not on palladium and platinum. Even though it's still
actually, no. All them states passed a law on precious metals. So what Amex is doing is wrong, guys. I'm sorry that you guys are getting hit with that.
Check out your state laws, Crazy Stacker, and see. Because
I think you're going to find out they wasn't supposed to be charging you that. So I would definitely check out your law.
Yeah, if they're collecting it, though, they're probably paying it to the state. They're not keeping it. They're not the type of company.
No, I don't think they're right, but they could, guys, they could accidentally have it all mixed up in their system. And sometimes big companies like that need to be approach and say something to them. Hey, wait a minute. Did you check our state taxes? I don't know why you're charging me. They'll look into it. And then they will refund you back your money, guys.
That's what says 100 by 2040. And, Ty McFadden says, I'll buy 5 grams of gold at $50 a piece. I know, right?
Well, once again, I just offered more than that. I'm willing to pay the 80.
Mustang says all the big line bullion dealers are pulling that tax crap. The reason why they're doing that is they have to be made aware which states do and don't have tax, because when you sell online, and it's even Amazon, if you order stuff from Amazon, Amazon should charge you tax for your state, a different percentage depending on where you live. But these online dealers are getting caught up by the government and everything because they're selling hundreds of millions of dollars, and the states are losing local sales taxes they could be getting, and that is what's happening. It's been happening for years. It's just catching up with everybody. But yes, if you are not expected to pay taxes for your bullion, check with the wholesaler and reiterate it. But check your local laws as well. Is it normal to get a receipt for the purchases of gold and silver? I recommend getting a receipt.
For the real reason is that way you know what you got in it.
And in my opinion, it doesn't matter what you got in it. The real reason is, in my opinion, capital gains tax. You're required to pay taxes on your capital gains. Without a receipt, a $3,350 ounce of gold, you made $3,350. Why did I just lose this thing? Are we still live? Well, I guess
We're still live, I think.
Yeah, I think we are. I don't know.
Reach out to one of your peeps out there and see.
Well, it's come up. It just, my other screen just went blank and said, "Oh snap!" Bud Swat, a gram of gold is worth $107. Wow, it was worth $112 earlier today.
Guys, and one thing Keith's talking about the capital gains. Here's the thing: if you have your receipt for what you paid for today, and this has already happened to a person I know who it happened to. I'm not going to mention their name, but they had gold, and it was dated 1999. They couldn't produce the receipt, so the federal government decided to look back and see what gold sold in 1999. Guess what they did? They gave them that lead of the gold at 1999. Everything over that was capital gain.
$232.
The bad part about it is they swore they bought it in 2011. You know where gold was in 2011? About 2,000 an ounce.
So yes, always get receipts, and that way if something comes up later, it helps. Did you realize that gold at all-time high today, even with inflation? I think $850 gold in 1980 with inflation would make the number 3,475. So new high. There you go.
Well, we went over that, so the high was even higher.
Yeah, it did hit that high, and we did talk about that earlier. And we had touched the subject, is it better to buy gold ounces or fractional gold? Really, it's a personal preference, what you can afford. I think it was Matt says, we are still alive. Yes, thank you. And Char says, yes. There you go. Still alive, says Against an Army. Okay. And it's a 15-minute warning. As you know, guys, we go about an hour on this show. We don't want to take up too much of your time, but Mike and I get together once a week like this. Sometimes we'll call each other besides this. And we just talk about what's going on in the economy and talk to you guys and answer your questions. Usually, almost always referencing to gold and silver and stuff, isn't it? And then whatever else. What do you think, bro? Yeah, no, maybe.
I think, yeah. That's usually what we try to talk about. We try to touch bases on it. But
Littlefoot
we also like you guys' feedback.
Littlefoot says, I don't tell the government about my silver and gold. Some people don't, but it is your responsibility as a citizen to report all your profits. Whether you do or not, that's none of my business. But I recommend getting a receipt because it does help your heirs and stuff and everything. It makes it easier. Gold could reach $10,000 an ounce, and those billionaires will still buy it by the millions. I know, right? Some people got too much money, don't they? They need to share.
I would still buy it.
Now, people that have earned billions of dollars, some of them are, I guess they're just a-holes. And some of them are nice. But they've done their due diligence and figured out how to make their money. And hey, kudos to them. That's all I got to say about that. Is there really any difference between the uncirculated or circulated GSA Morgans? I have a GSA holders, not marked uncirculated holders, and look better than the graded uncirculated ones. So Richard Metcalf is asking about the hard pack GSAs. There's no difference. You grade the coin. A lot of times they did not write uncirculated on the coin if it had any type of toning or a mark that they didn't like. Those guys that work for the Government Services Administration that put those coins in the holders, they were not coin collectors. They did not know how to grade coins.
But the good part about it, whether it says uncirculated or circulated, they
It's still
grade
uncirculated,
them.
most likely.
They still will grade them.
Yeah, and most likely it's still uncirculated as
It
well.
will get an uncirculated grade, yes.
Okay, if you wanted to trade silver for 1 ounce of gold, what would you want, ASCs or silver rounds? Depends on the quantity I was getting to trade. That really depends on the circumstances, what's happening in the markets. A lot of times there is a small fee on top of that trade ratio, but it depends on what you're giving up, what you're taking.
But you're going to get more silver generic rounds than you will American Eagles.
And the same holds true going the other way. You'll give up less silver on Eagles than you will generic rounds.
Correct.
Do you think silver will do a bounce like gold
Wouldn't that be nice?
did in the last few months? I was thinking about that, and I'm like, I should make a video. I'm terrible at making videos. And I was thinking about this very subject, so I don't know if I really want to touch on it too much, but it would be nice for it to happen.
Guys, I think last week I said I was going to Central States. I'm not going now.
You're not going Central States?
Nope, I'm going the other way. I am heading to Texas to a show.
Really? Must be nice.
Gainesville, Texas.
There you go.
Never even knew it existed.
Gainesville, Texas. That's right near Gainesville, Florida, man. Just
a hop, skip, and jump over. Yes.
Littlefoot says, will there be a point in time where there is enough fractional silver in the market to not have such a high premium on it? There will be a time when there won't be such a high premium if silver ever got high enough itself. That is what you have to understand. It's like someone said, why don't you buy common date wheat pennies if that's all I'm bringing? I said, you could not pay me 10 cents to take your wheat pennies and me make money because of the cost of everything, the paying the labor, the paying for the holders and stuff like that. It's the same way with silver, paying the labor to manufacture a fractional silver. There's just not enough money to be made on a $3 bill. So yeah, there's going to be a higher premium. But say if it was $200-$300 an ounce, premium would probably disappear pretty much like gold, wouldn't it, Mike?
Oh, I'm sure it would. Well, guys, I did have a bunch of fractionals in my shop that I sold for the same price as generic silver. Oh, that's right. They said SD bullion on them. I had to get rid of them.
I think the gold to silver ratio will adjust with the price of gold. It is always adjusting. There's no thinking to it, my friend. It will change. As one goes up, the other goes down. But yes, something's got to give. It is a lot higher than it historically has been. However, in what was it, 2008 or 9 or something? It was like 130 to 1. So yeah, it does what it does, man. It does what it does. Gold was like 800 or 900 or something, and silver was 6. But you couldn't buy it for 6. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
It was like $15 and $6 price tag on it. So wow, we are covering a lot of stuff. Has anybody got any questions they want to ask? We've got about 8 minutes left. We're going to go ahead and talk about. Let's talk about your coin show coming up in June. You and I still got to get together and make a video on that.
Well, unfortunately, I could probably do it tomorrow, but then I'm gone. Then I come back. I don't even go in the shop on next week. Then I head to Colorado. Then I come back, and then I'll have time.
Well, we're gonna have to do something. I'm gonna have to do something. We're gonna have to get a video. Let's talk about the show in June. It's June the 12th, 13th, 14th. Is that the correct dates?
Yes, the 12th, 13th, and 14th. Guys, on the 13th and 14th, thanks to a lot of the generous dealers out there that helped me to put this together, we're going to be giving away coins to kids. And we want the kids to pick their own tickets. Adults, please stay out of the way and let these kids pick their own coins.
Well, that is awesome. I don't remember giving coins. I guess I did. I don't know.
No,
If I did, I will.
we didn't go to shows like this when we was kids where they gave away so much stuff. But
Yeah.
we really appreciate the parents and the kids coming to our shows. We got a couple of clubs this year are busting in. We got a couple of clubs that are setting up. The Art Bar Association is going to be there this year, first time forever, coming to Oklahoma. They are excited. We're excited. They're going to do their coin club meeting right there on site. Steve Austin is also going to do a couple of seminars talking about art bar collecting. Guys, if you ain't got nothing going on, come out, check it out, join the club. There's other clubs going to be there. The Rogers Coin Club. I think Florida's coming. We got a lot of different places coming. So you ain't got nothing else to do, come out and see us.
A lot of YouTubers going to be there along with the Mint and all the graders and stuff. I'm going to be there. Mike's going to be there. Silver Seeker, Rob Vice Treasures, Raven, and so many more. And of course, we cannot forget the precious Miss Ida Herring.
NGC is going to be there with 4 tables, guys.
There you go.
Annex will be there.
There you go. I said graders. Are you guys aware? Now, Sam Wilson's, I read this and I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. Aware that the king who was on Thailand's coins up until 2016 was actually born in Cambridge, Massachusetts? Now, that's interesting.
I'm not aware, but I am now. My wife probably was aware because she does all of our foreign coins.
Do states charge sales tax on goldbacks? I don't know, but I don't consider goldbacks bullion, so they might, I would think, because it's not really, it's more of a novelty because of the excruciating high premium.
They should not, because goldbacks are being used as exchange like money.
There you go. They should not, but whether they do or not.
We'll actually have Goldback. I forgot about Goldback going to be at the show. They're actually going to be in my office tomorrow. We're going to do a one-on-one. We will be a distributor for their company. So, guys, you can order your Goldbacks through us, through Keith, anybody you want, because I'm going to make sure that Michigan has a bunch of these Goldbacks down that way.
Thomas tripped on a nickel. Do you buy, sell key dates pretty much at every show? 09SVDB sent the 16D. I sold a 16D the last coin show.
I have a 1909 SVDB at the show.
Do you sell them? Do they sell regularly? I'm tongue-tied there. Do you sell them on a regular basis or buy them on a regular basis, key dates?
I do not. I wish I could say I do. It's when they show up.
Yeah, when they show up is pretty much how it is. Okay, and Mustang Dave is reminding me not to get in line this year for the kids' raffle. Just kidding. Dude, I was thinking about getting in that line. I was wanting to get in on it. Get on the free stuff, Mustang.
I know a company's going to give another gold coin in there, so stand back and let the kids have it.
Do either of you have 1893 Columbian Exposition memorabilia for sale at your store? Tickets, etc. I do have a ticket. I don't know how much it is, but it's somewhere back there in my currency stuff, graded. I wouldn't have any idea of what to charge for it. Do you know what them things are worth? Do you have anything like that?
I,
Besides the
I
coin.
I might have one or two, but I got a whole bunch of the coins themselves.
Yeah. I heard they're making Texas Goldbacks when they get approved. Interesting.
They're not making Texas goes back this year. The ones they are doing this year is Arizona and Oklahoma.
Well, it's about time to wrap it up, folks. A 2-minute warning right here against an army. We will not, or we will have an auction next Sunday, this coming Sunday on this channel. Mrs. Coin Crew will be hosting it. I will be set up at a coin show myself, so I will not be here. So she'll do whatever she wants the way she does it. We missed last Sunday because of Easter. Cool. I hope everybody had fun. But yeah, every Tuesday night, we're always here, unless we're not. So, Mike, you want to close up with anything, bro?
Yeah, guys, thank you for coming. We really appreciate it every Tuesday night when you guys show up here. We appreciate all the questions you asked, and just feel free to ask all the questions you want. I do love answering questions, so hopefully next week we'll get a lot more questions asked. Back to you, Keith.
All right, guys, I guess that about does it. Oh, some Windows thing opened up or something. I don't know. So we will see you. Floyd, Friday. This Friday is live. I still got to set it up. 10:30 a.m. on the Coin Crew channel. Floyd will be live, so don't miss it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have to call him. I got something to ask him.
Oh, yeah. And guys, try to not forget next Tuesday. I should have another video up from the show coming back. Let's see what I got this round.
So I want to thank everybody for being here. We really appreciate you all. And please remember, you help fuel Ask a Coin Dealer by the many, many questions that you ask. If I did not get to your questions, I do apologize. Please send a, email or put some question marks in front of it next time. But thank you very much for being here. We really appreciate it. And with that said.
Oh, and by the way, guys, let's next week we'll touch on another grading service.
There you go. We're going to touch on another grading service next week. So we'll see you then.
All right.
8. Is it 8? 8
Eastern, 7
Central next Tuesday. Have a great night, guys. Thank you.
Be there or be square.
You said it.